So this is a game which is called AI Spirit of the Place, or Genius Loci. The name comes from the phrase, Latin phrase, which means spirit of the place. And there is a question. It's again for the communities to discover their spirit in order to this spirit be a part of their developmental strategies.
Okay.
Because we have this typically that the strategies are very similar one to another, and really boring, and no one really performs it well because it doesn't inspire. So we want the strategy inspired by culture, by local spirit, so that communities really want to be in that future. And we have this game with the 4 types of the questions: intangible heritage, tangible heritage, natural heritage, and just general questions about bird's view on the situation or yourself inside the story. And the pink one is the first round of the questions, which is discussed only among the group. So we just ask each other questions related to these 4 topics and divided into two types of questions: getting to know things about us, about ourselves, just self-discovery, and reflection, which is more our attitude to the things. And the questions I'll show you later, the types of questions. Second round is related to artificial intelligence. So it is called big data. And there are 2 types of questions. One is analysis, and second is multidisciplinary lens. And when these are the cards, the questions that are asked to artificial intelligence, you just show the card to your phone, to your chat, and ask, for example, can you please collect all information available about us in the internet? You can specify cultural heritage, something else. And then, can you please make a short summary? Can you please find a distinctive features? Questions like this. And then multidisciplinary lens is, can you please analyze the potential of development of our community from the perspective of a cultural anthropologist. So this is called agentic approach to artificial intelligence, when you try to kind of set some personality for the artificial intelligence and ask AI to act with you, to interact with you as some certain role. And you can train that role. If it makes mistakes, you can correct, and so on, until this role is smart enough to interact with you and be really helpful in this game. And the third round of questions is called vision of the future. And we have 2 parts here. One is narrative, and second is visualization. With the narrative, we try ourselves first to create the story based on the data that we collected. We want to create the narrative or story about the spirit of our place. What is actually the spirit of our place? And what is the future that wants to be manifested through us and the objects on our territory, so that the spirit become visible and actually embodied in the future. And we also ask artificial intelligence to add to this story some elements that it had learned about us, like what do you like, what are you passionate about, what ignites our best energy. Because since it was interacting with us for 2 previous rounds, it already knows something about our behavior, how do we react, how do we ask questions. So we ask AI to evaluate our story and maybe correct it somehow. And the last stage is to make a visualization out of that story. So the question is, could you please visualize this narrative, how it can look like in the future? And then we can adjust this picture according to what we like and what we want to be. And these are the cards. Divided by colors, as I told you. And this is round 1, pink questions. You just pick up the cards and ask each other, why are we valuing the beauty of the nature in our community? Or why not? What local traditions or habits we are valuing the most? What practices, experiences, and places in our community allow us to feel ourselves the best versions of ourselves? And so on. Are there any abandoned heritage objects that want to be reimagined? Why the nature of our place is special? If our very very significant historical building could speak, what story would it tell? And the questions like this. It's just discussion between us. Second round is a conversation with the artificial intelligence. You just show these cards to the chat. You make a picture of it, or you can press the mic and read it to the artificial intelligence chat. And you tell, please, dear AI consultant, prepare for us a brief information about the local flavor of our community. Or please generate a description of the spirit of the place based on our previous responses, because in the previous round you can make some conclusions and inform AI about your conclusions. Or, dear AI consultant, what kind of sounds, images or senses describe our natural landscapes? And so on. And this multidisciplinary lens is here. Dear AI consultant, taking into consideration all you know about us, please analyze the developmental potential of our community from the position of cultural anthropologist, then futurist ecologist, environmental specialist, and so on. And there is a question to us also, what suggestions of artificial intelligence seems rational to me, resonate on the heart level, and ignite the best energy of action? So you kind of listen to the technology first, and then you have some critical discussion about what we like, what didn't like, and what actually resonated emotionally. And the third round is, on one hand, you have questions to people. For example, why our community in the future is the place where you want to live and create. What kind of future want to manifest itself through people and atmosphere of our place. How our dreams about our future potential include our previous conclusions about our community in this game. And on the back, you have the questions to artificial intelligence with QR code also. The technology can read the code and read the question behind it. What are you thinking about our plans and ambitions? How do you think they will be interesting for the world and Ukraine in the future? Do you know about the similar ideas in the future, so that the technology can answer this? And also, please make the visualization of our spirit of the place in a way, specific in a way that it will be easily recognizable, that it is about our exact community. And also there is a question to AI. Please advise us how we can use the description of our spirit of the place and our visualization in order to move towards the future that we want to achieve. How can we make the result in this game better and the dialogue more deep? And please warn us that all your advices are optional, and we have to, first of all, rely on our own critical thinking, voice of our heart, and courage to dream, and available resources. Thank you for the cooperation. It's very important that in this agentic approach you're very polite with artificial intelligence, because you train the helper that you want to have. It has to be polite. Yeah, that's it.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's Creative Commons license, so we want to make it as spread as possible, so that people can just print it in their communities and play, and maybe adjust. So we want to make it open source.
Fantastic. And when was it you developed this?
We just printed it a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And we were developing it for 6 months.
Okay.
It was a research process. We were talking with communities. We were talking with different stakeholders, from AI, from culture, from heritage, from local authorities. Yeah.
And remind me, your organisation that you initiated.
Yeah, it's called Lanka.pro. Lanka in Ukrainian means link. And this is actually a side quotation of the name of the organization that existed in Ukraine in 20s. called Lanka.
In the
and
1920s.
in
1920s,
1920s,
yeah.
they were a union of writers and artists, and they were saying, we want, in the middle of the cataclysm, we want to become a link that brings our society back as a cultural actors. Yeah. So we were created in March 2022 as a response to the war, to think about the future instead of cry about the past.